Satsuki looking for that damage, finds him on the Diablo. Diablo forced it back out as their health drops low. The Immortal now is at 25%.
Back down Yo on the Greymane, gonna be the first to fall. But is it ETC? No, that's Malthael up there. A triple.
The ley line used in the back, catching 3 people on top of that, followed up by the APOC and the lurking on. Catching 2, but this time on is gonna be the first one.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi.
There's the lead, catches him in the mud pit. Time trap does pop. Mosh pit goes out. Lugen's still in trouble. Pops to stay a while and listen, but it's not going to matter.
Here comes the Boros on the backside, but he's doing it for Andre. And then stunned. Oh my goodness. The combo.
Getting struck down, ETC getting killed. He becomes dog food for the Greymane.
I didn't think they had a chance. I thought it was all over. We said all or nothing, and they got absolutely everything.
Try again because I was muted. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. It is Nexus Gaming Series Season 11, Division E East. We have ReGen Rebel, the underdogs, coming into this matchup, squaring off against FF and the Pancakes. We'll take a quick look at the standings before we find out where we're going for game number 1. As you can see, if the playoffs started today, this would actually be the first round of the playoffs. FF and the Pancakes having a spectacular season. 6 dominations out of their 8 matches played with an overall map record of 14-3. Very much so in contention for the number 1 seed, right up there with Ice Crown Citadel Raiders and the 9 Avatara. ReGen Rebel in their inaugural season. Having a solid, though not spectacular season, hovering right around 500, 2 dominations in 7 matches with an overall map record of 9-8. So any points they get out of this would definitely be a positive for them. FF and the Pancakes for sure want to secure all 3 points to really make a run at first place here. So big standings implications for the top of the table here, as well as the teams trying to squeak in. So game number 1, the coin toss was won by FF and the Pancakes. They chose first pick, banned out Infernal Shrines and Battlefield of Eternity. ReGen Rebel banned out Towers of Doom, so they are dead to me. And Dragonshire, and then select Cursed Hollow, which I actually really enjoy, so they are somewhat forgiven for the Towers of Doom ban. Towers of Doom is just so fun to cast and observe competitive on, because the map's never really over. It just kind of keeps going. It's got a unique flavor to it. I really enjoy casting on towers. We've all seen all those bananas endings on Towers of Doom, but here we are, going straight into the draft. And FF and the Pancakes really taking their time with their first ban. Let's see, who's it going to be? Going to be Sonya. Sonya very prevalent in the meta right now. Rebel also does play a ton of Sonya, so that is both a meta and targeted band at Meow Meow Cats, the solo laner for ReGen Rebel. Taco and company replying with a Thrall ban. Second ban coming out for FF and the Pancakes. If I'm not mistaken, Cursed Hollow, somebody correct me if they've been around longer than me, the oldest map in Heroes of the Storm, and then a Lost Vikings ban, followed by a Gazlo ban. I am not aware, this is not to say that they don't, but I am not aware off the top of my head ReGen Rebel playing Lost Vikings. So I wonder if that's something they know that I don't, or perhaps that's just something they don't want to see. And then a first pick May, and I really like that pick there for FF and the Pancakes. It is May, one of the top tanks right now. She's really solid, but that's also a soft ban over for ReGen Rebel. Taco and the boys on Rebel play, or ladies and gentlemen, I should say, on ReGen Rebel. Play a really good May, but they're going to counter with the Leo, offlane Leo, and Carve on his Falstad. One of Falstad's better maps, the Gust for double boss control and global. So good, and even though arguably Falstad's best level 1 talent is banned, he's still in a real good place right now. FF and the Pancakes, they will grab a Lucio and a Jaina. So that is a whole lot of ice, a whole lot of slows, and then a Lucio. So it's kind of a speed into a slowed team. You could see maybe FF and the Pancakes running some circles around ReGen Rebel. I would love to see FF and the Pancakes pick up like a Rainer here and ace in the whole Rainer with May and Jaina. That guy would just constantly have that bonus damage procced. ReGen Rebel, though, going to ban the Zeratul. I don't want to see the VP Ring of Frost combo would be my guess. VP, even Blizzard from May, actually, would be very good as well. Possibly a little redundant, though. If May goes Ice Wall, that's also a setup for Ring of Frost, so maybe the Zeratul not needed. Going to be a Kira ban for FF and the Pancakes. Wondering if perhaps Rebel was going to go with a double or mayhaps triple Bruiser comp with Leo picked up already. Did not prevent them from banning out that Kira. And then we're going to see the classic Johanduin combination selected by ReGen Rebel, leaving their flex spot for the end. Will it be another Bruiser? Or just a kind of typical ranged assassin pick up at the end? Last two selections for FF and the Pancakes, and this just went super spicy, ladies and gentlemen. Abathur Illidan coming out for FF and the Pancakes. A very effective and frustrating combination to play into. Now, last pick for Rebel. Really thinking about what their answer to the Illidan is going to be. The Illidan with Hunt onto a Falstad Carve in particular is very strong. Carve needs to be really careful. Very careful with an Illidan, just YOLOing onto him and taking him down. So let's see how this game 1 is going to go here on Cursed Hollow. So, I see I switched to the screen saying we're not quite loaded up, and then of course as soon as I switched over, game 1 has loaded up. And we are on to Cursed Hollow. I agree, Arrow. I think if Carve can stay safe on Falstad, that's going to be a huge accomplishment. He is the one far and away under the most threat from that Abba Illidan hat. It's on both Carve to stay safe and his teammates to help keep him safe. But let's introduce our team. So we have the blue team, ReGen Rebel, Super Carve, will be playing the Falstad. Taco on Johanna. Oh, I'm going to go with Beast Rend first on Leo before I struggle onto Villa Aria on Anduin and Meow Meow Cats on the Mouthheal. FF and the Pancakes will feature Mr. Sue on May, Stampy on Illidan, Courtney on Jaina, XYXGY Zigzy on Abathur, and I neglected somebody. There it is, Mr. G on the Lucio. So Beastrend already feeling the wrath of that Abahat in the bottom lane. Definitely don't want to trade into that. Taco coming down to help out. Illidan will rotate away. I assume he's going to go onto the giant camp. Falstad is already starting here on the camp. As soon as they spawn, Carve was here waiting for him. Illidan actually not going to go on the bottom. He is going to get the mid camp first. That's the correct call with the location of this objective. Don't see a whole lot of Malthael versus May solo lane matchups. So both teams kind of just doing some housekeeping in preparation for the first objective. These Giants will give May a hard time in the top lane without help. Anduin will be joining Falstad now on the Bruisers. Illidan still working down the Bruisers, so the Pancakes just a hair behind on picking up the mercenary camps. But Abahat has been soaking this bottom lane. Leo going to eat some mines, clear those out. The mines on the Abba are so annoying. So nobody here for ReGen Rebel currently to clear out that mid lane. Now Johanna is finally going to go. Now it is going to be helped with their own camp crashing in, but they are very likely to lose tower here, question mark? No, maybe they cleared out fast enough. It's going to be close. Nice job by Taco tanking that wave, keeping that tower up. Illidan is on the bottom Giants. He is holding it, has already picked it up. So these will be pushing in the bottom lane as soon as Stampy grabs it, and he does. ReGen Rebel already on the way to objective, picking these first tributes up. Thanks, Murda. It is a sweet jersey. Thanks again to Saint Aura. Picking up these early tribs into an Abba comp is so critical. Don't let that mine go. There you guys go. Now, Illidan is already flanking on the back, so this is going to be on maybe Leo to kind of keep tabs on him. The Taco's going to be up front. Condemn hits 2, punish follow-up. Now we have the Brouhaha starting Taco, forced to pop his Iron Skin. Illidan is just so low. There's a big blizzard. Only catches one. Some low health bars may force to pop her shield, but she is going to go down. First blood of the game in favor of ReGen Rebel. Early fights, I would think, with an Abba is going to favor Rebel just a little bit. What we really want to keep an eye on is after this game hits 10, Abba and all the heroics come online, and let's see what it looks like then, because this is just kind of the preamble to the real game. So now Illidan going to go on a low Carve, who is under his tower. The hat here is ready. I hope you've got a barrel roll, Carve, otherwise you might be in trouble. Don't go out, Carve. That's how you get dead. Soak, very close. So I really don't think he can stay here, even under towers. I think he's vulnerable, especially if he gets a hat on him. He is playing very, very safe, but I still worry for our friend Carve here. Advantageous spawn for the Pancakes on their side of the map, and probably the hardest position in the game to invade on first hollow. They do put some cooldowns into May. She pops her trait and then walks away, and it looks like ReGen Rebel is going to be content with Falstad unable to join. Going to be content to let this one go. So 1 trib each. Experience is identical. Both sides have the exact same amount of experience. Falstad will return to the bottom lane. Leo will return to the top lane. Malthael going to grab the Giants. So a small advantage here in the mercenaries for Rebel, just because they got theirs first, so the cooldowns came up first, making them available more. It looks like Falstad going into the auto attack build, so when he can auto attack stuff, he can kind of top himself back up, but he can't do that when Illidan is around. This is the spawn that Rebel wanted, their side of the map, right in that little defensive nook. Leo doing his best to hold off both Jaina and Lucio in the top lane. Rebel also so close to 10, like right there. The majority of the team is rotating right through all these ABBA mines. They are in position to channel. Illidan is on the giant camp, you can see down in the bottom right here. My guess is that Pancakes will simply give this objective. Rebel is so close to 10, already in position, and there it goes. So this next tribute, this is going to be the big one. Both sides will have their heroics. And both sides are going to want to get that to either prevent the curse or secure curse. Taco waiting in the wings here, as are some mines. Let's go over our level 10s. We have Blessed Shield Carve going under tower, now hoping to stun him under tower, and they do! Great bait! Great bait. Carve hung in there just long enough. Taco was on the spot with the Blessed Shield. Down goes Illidan. Well played there by Rebel. We have Blessed Shield by Johanna. I believe that is Holy Word Salvation, and it is for Anduin, Gust, Last Rites, and Entomb. For FF and the Pancakes, we have Ultimate Evolution, Hunt, Sound Barrier, Water Elemental, and Ice Wall. Illidan will be up. A small advantageous position here for Rebel, but it's in a pretty neutral part of the battlefield. Blessed Shield will be up very shortly after this objective spawns. Illidan may be late if he stays on this. Now, yes, we know he can hunt in there, but his team doesn't want to be too anxious. Now, here comes Taco. They may had caught somebody. They were thinking about it. So, Welly is down, and Entomb is down, and the Pancakes are going to be late. This is going to be Curse uncontested over to ReGen Rebel. I am a little surprised. I thought for sure they would step in on that. Now, Jaina is a little far forward. Rebel didn't pull the trigger, but now they do. There's the Blessed Shield, there's the Condemn, and there's the Punish, and there goes Lucio. So Curse and numbers advantage. Illidan doing his best to do annoying Illidan things. Abathur did go Mule, so it is incumbent upon ReGen Rebel to finish off any and all buildings that they start. They don't want to let those things just get healed up. They want to finish the siege damage. Meow Meow Cats now in a lot of trouble with Jaina here. Slows go down. There goes the Ice Skate. There's the Blizzard, but a little teleporty action there to get away to safety. But there's the Hunt right under tower. He does tap, but then eats the Jaina Blizzard. And going to finish up that Malthael, but a big flank here. Lucio not here. There's the Condemn. There's the Punish. Not quite. They're trying to get Jaina, and they do. Welly comes out, as does the clone. Holy Word Salvation is excellent. Eats a ton of damage, but unable to counter Carve. Forced to Gust, but they are going to have to leave poor Anduin to the Wolves. And down goes Anduin. So good idea there for Rebel. The execution was a little left a little to be wanting. But a good response from Pancakes, popping the clone and the Welly, and now they're going to steal this boss right out from under. Meow Meow Cat saw Joe, and everybody is here but Leo. Gust is not available for 20 seconds. The May Blizzard right on top of this. There goes Iron Skin. Johanna trying to get right on top of it. That is a big Condemn and a big everything. The Ice Wall catches two. Hunt onto Falstad. Lucio goes down. Soon to be followed by Falstad. A 1-for-1. Last Rites will secure May. A 2-for-1 in favor of ReGen Rebel. Taco pretty low, but it looks like they will back up content to take their small win. However, the Ice Wall, really nice play there by May. The Ice Wall secured the channel. Taco had a really fantastic initiation, did a ton of work, but May just popping that Ice Wall down and securing that boss. So let's see, can they save fort? No. Jaina has showed up here in mid lane to grab the XP, push the lane in. I assume she'll drop a blizzard, and she will right onto that building, get a little bonus structure damage. So a pretty even game so far. Kills 5-3, experience pretty much even, structures dead even. It's a little disconcerting if you're Rebel because you actually did get the curse, so you would want to be ahead. Taco in this bush waiting. Leo is not here, so this is a rough spot for Rebel. There goes the blind. You don't want to go on to Mei. Now, the clone is out. There goes the hunt right onto Anduin. There goes the ice wall, catches 3, and this is big-time trouble for ReGen Rebel. Gust separates everybody but Illidan, so a great Gust. Now Leo is here very, very late. A great leap of faith by Anduin. It will not save Malthael, though. I love everything ReGen Rebel did there, except Leo wasn't there to do him with it. So they took a fight down in numbers, and they paid for it, 1-0. In favor of the Pancakes, they also secure the tribute as well. The ice walls coming out for Mr. Sue have been absolutely on point. Really, really great ice walls. That would have been a lot worse had Carve not pulled the trigger on his Gust. So both sides making plays, but it kind of feels like a little bit as this game is ramping up, as Abathur and Illidan are coming online more and more, it just feels like this game is starting to tilt in favor of FF and the Pancakes. And this is going to be Curse. So ReGen Rebel, I should say, has a choice. They can give Curse or defend boss. They really can't do both. And it looks like they are going to give Curse. So the Pancakes now pretty much staying as a 5-man, a roaming death ball. If you're ReGen Rebel, all you want to do is keep your keeps up here. This is not a great place to defend. There's the ice wall, only catching the Leo, so that's not the end of the world. Falstad rotating away and now coming back, trying to get there on his teammates. Taco in trouble, and they split out everybody but Illidan again. There's the Blessed Shield. The follow-up is not going to be there. Clone Jaina has arrived. Meow Meow Cat's way out in front and might be in trouble. He is slowed. He is hunted, but a fantastic leap of faith by Anduin, pulling Meow Meow Cats to safety and completely negating the hunt. Falstad has left to clear out bottom lane. And now it looks like the Pancakes, they will be content to simply close out all of the forts for ReGen Rebel. And I love what the Pancakes are doing here. They are not breaking up their group. They're letting Abba do the things that he does, and this group is always together. So whenever you encounter them, they're always at full strength, and that's something Rebel has not been able to do from about midway through this game, which is fight at full strength. They've had a number of fights where they were just kind of down one or somebody was a little late to the party. Having said all that, I mean, 5-4 in kills. Both teams have all of their keeps up. XP is still dead even. This is an absolute coin flip game right now, even though it has definitely felt tilted in favor of FF and the Pancakes the last couple minutes. So Carve, don't be out in front. Nope. Nope. I don't like it. I don't like it. Leo kind of hovering in the flanks, but they can't take a 3v4 here. Leo and Malthael are not here. Nice job, Rebel. Now they're going to eat a bunch of... There goes the hunt onto the Falstad. They need to keep him alive, and they need to get all of their other members here. That is a lot of buttons pressed by FF and the Pancakes, but the Gust hit the reset button. Now there's the Blessed Shield. The Entomb and the Ice Wall kind of countering each other. The Mei Blizzard on top will catch 2. Now that is a huge Holy Word salvation. Down goes Clone. They have now, FF and the Pancakes, used all of their buttons, and I think they recognize that, and they're at least feinting a retreat. Are they going to try to steal boss? Their boss bird is very good. Both sides basically used all of their buttons, and nobody died. With Clone down, though, this plays in Rebel's favor. So if they're going to make a boss play, this is how you do it. You just can't fight the boss and the Pancakes. You got to fight one or the other. Taco anchoring that bush. Pancake staying in the area.
Gather tribute or face me. The choice is simple.
Welly is up in 2 seconds. Ice Wall is up right now. Both sides very close to 20. They should arrive at close to the same time. Very close to the same time. Now, the level 20, though, in Tomb is very strong, as is the Mighty Gust upgrade. I think level 20 might favor Rebel a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Now there goes the Iron Skin. That is a very aggressive use. He does get the interrupt. Ice Wall this time catches nobody. Very aggro onto Falstad again. There's the Blessed Shield. There is the Holy Word Salvation. Absolutely money. Last Rites picks off the Lucio, and FF and the Pancakes now in retreat mode. Really well executed by Ghost. Jaina in trouble. Abba trying to keep Courtney up there with the hat, but Hunt goes onto Falstad, and down goes Falstad, over pursuing just a little bit. The Bloodlust got Carve into a little bit of trouble, and the Abba hat there getting Courtney out of a little bit of trouble. So ultimately a 1-for-1 with Lucio going down. Now keep in mind, the Pancakes know, they absolutely know that this is here. They do have 20. Falstad is not here. I do not like this call at all. They need to leave right now. You do not want to fight over wall. Now there goes Ice Wall. Now maybe when Falstad arrives, it's a long time from that though. Ooh, Ice Wall is down. Yeah, Pancakes didn't like it either. And now Rebel is, they're going to go right back on it. So a little bit of do-si-doing around the boss. Now May coming back to check. Both sides do have 20. Falstad is not quite up yet, though. He will be here in 3. The Rebel needs to be very, very careful. They need to get off the boss. Do not fight the boss and members of Pancakes. Falstad has arrived. Taco is super low. Holy Word Salvation is money again, and Illidan is silenced, and down he goes. The power of the level 20 silence in Tomb. And the Anduin has been absolutely nailing the Holy Word. Salvations have been so good, as have the Leap of Faith, but the counter kill onto the Falstad. Clone should be going down momentarily, as will Taco. Shield comes up. Holy Word Salvation again, because apparently that thing has absolutely no cooldown. Taco going in. He wants more. Gets the Condemn. Gets the slow. Ice Wall catches 3. There's the May Blizzard on top. Stunning 3. And Rebel is in trouble. Taco goes down. Anduin hits the root, but Lucio is going to have the ability to run down. And wob, 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 and down goes Anduin. So a crazy fight there. A great Entomb, a great Salvation, and an Ice Wall to pick up a counter win there. And this, I'd say this game does not feel, as Abathur picks up the channel on the top, this game does not feel like a 2nd place team versus a 7th place team at all. This game is very close. These fights are very close. But this will mean trouble for ReGen Rebel. It's going to push down the bottom lane where the keep is functionally dead already. You're going to get an Abba Illidan onto core, which is very difficult to defend. And I think unless ReGen Rebel pulls off something crazy here, FF and the Pancakes can try to posture for a win here. But they're not gonna. Are they going to double boss instead? That might be the play that they're making, and it is. So with this vision here in the mid lane, Rebel will know that they rotated away, but then they came right back. So kind of a juke in the rotations there, playing with the vision. Not coming to fight, though. Really only coming to channel the objective. Taco in the neighborhood, deciding not to. Great boss defense, though. This keep was basically dead already. The fact that it was even as close as it was. Real nice job of Rebel to catch that boss so far out in lane. FF and the Pancakes. They are sniffing around their own boss. Now you gotta think ReGen Rebel knows this. But Malthael showing in the bottom lane means that they cannot contest. Instead, opt to go for the bruisers. And now they're going to bait. They're going to bait the boss check. Rebel needs to be very careful here. Leo is one of the ones you want to go in first. Now he does catch Entomb is up, and then he catches Lucio. Lucio in the silence Entomb, and he goes down. Illidan goes onto the back line. If Rebel can hold past this for just a minute, great gust to peel off space for the Illidan. Taco is way, way back here, and the big blizzard from Jaina annihilates Malthael. Leo chasing down Leoric. He is going to get him. Down goes Leoric. Ice Wall does catch Joe all the way in the back. Leap of Faith gets Taco back out, but I don't think it's going to matter. You cannot run from an Illidan Lucio comp. It is just not going to happen. And this is going to be very soon, I would imagine, game 1. Going to go over here to FF and the Pancakes. FF and the Pancakes picking up a win with kind of a classic oldie but a goodie comp. The old Abathur Illidan. And just there's no way to get Illidan off the board here. This 4 is just going to absolutely melt. There's our stats screen for game number 1. A very exciting, very back and forth game. And frankly, despite the loss, I actually thought that was a really nice showing for ReGen Rebel. Abathur Illidan is not easy to play into. They had a couple of moments, but even at the end, they kind of had a couple fights where they would get that initial kill onto Lucio or onto Illidan, and just couldn't turn that into the complete team fight victory. FF and the Pancakes showed good discipline and use of the clone to turn those fights. And Mr. Sue with the ice walls, I think I only saw one missed ice wall the entire game. Always was available with the blizzard setup afterward. Also, worth noting, look at the May build taking the W talents. So if you got an ice wall, like at the end, actually the very last ice wall caught the bottom lane, the second to last fight where Illidan actually went down early. May hit an ice wall, caught 3 people in it, and then got all 3 of those people, those heroes, in a blizzard. They took the bonus damage, but they also had enemy damage reduced by 40% for 4 seconds. So if you're hitting those ice walls and comboing it with the blizzards on the build that Mr. Sue is doing here, that's a rough one. But it looks like we already have game number 2 ready to go. Looks like it is going to be on Alterac Pass. And while I figure out who goes where, I'm going to put the BRB screen right back up, and we should be back here in about a minute, maybe 2, for game number 2.
Satsuki looking for that damage, finds him on the Diablo. Diablo.
Sorry about the weird bumper thing there. I pressed a button and it did something I did not want it to do. But we are back for Alterac Pass game number 2. So ReGen Rebel opted for first pick. FF and the Pancakes opted to go to Alterac Pass, another possible Abathur map. So I wouldn't be surprised to see an Abba ban coming out here from ReGen Rebel. So we've got 9 members in lobby, waiting for the 10th, and then we should be ready to rock and roll for game number 2. What I saw game number 1, I wouldn't be surprised for either one of these teams to pick up the victory there. I thought it was very competitive. I think in the mid game there were a couple times where Rebel took some fights that I didn't particularly like. But other than that, I thought they played really well. FF and the Pancakes was on point the whole game. I really loved how they played that comp. Once the mid game hit, they just kind of kept their little 4-man together and let Abathur control the map. Both sides had opportunities to fight over boss when they shouldn't, and they showed patience and backed up. So really well played game all around, honestly. So waiting for one more for ReGen Rebel. So if you don't know, on the bumper, we being NGS do have a Patreon. It lets us do all the fun things that we do. Also some neat rewards in there if you're so inclined to check that out. Please do so. We appreciate all the support that we get. Or if you're so inclined, there's also a link at the bottom of the NGS page if you want to contribute to the Storm Division prize pool. Would be wonderful as well. Anytime now. I thought I was going to hold up these guys, but nope, I'm not holding them up. And I'm kind of vamping before I put the BRB screen up, but I know as soon as I do that, we're going to get our 5th. There we go. All right, all 10 members are here. All right, we do have the R's from Rebel, have the R from the Caster, hopefully have an R from the Pancakes, and I'm hungry. I could go for some pancakes. I might pick up pancakes after this game. If we get an interview with FF and the Pancakes as we venture into the draft screen here for game number 2, one of the things I would like to ask them is where the name came from and who is FF and why do they have pancakes? It's an unusual name. ReGen Rebel, sticking with the Gazlowe ban. The Wombo potential out of Gazlowe is real. The turrets do give some amount of zone control. FF and the Pancakes sticking with the Sonya. Also, Gazlowe on Alterac with the turrets, if he has enough time, can solo cap the point using the turrets to eat the aggro from the little prison guards or whatever they're called. And sticking with the Zeratul ban. I am surprised there's no Abba ban. Maybe mid game. Yeah, Silver Arrow, you're absolutely right. The clone Jaina was just shrekking that last game. The bonus spell damage, as this time FF will ban out the Mei. That is definitely targeted. Keeping her away from Taco. FF have done some of their homework there. Last game they first picked the Mei to keep it away from Taco. This time no such luxury. They will simply ban it and then a first pick Li Ming. Li Ming is a little feast or famine, in my humble opinion. If she gets her resets, she can be really strong. If she doesn't, she is somewhat limited. I am not a huge fan of first pick Li Ming. I feel like it gives the other team the opportunity to draft around it. Johanna picked up for the Pancakes, and Falstad one more time. Still strong despite the level 1 talent ban. So let's see what Rebel are going to do here. I imagine you're going to get tank or healer. Maybe tank and healer even.
Oh, this is my jam.
No, I'm going to put Thrall on the Bruiser. Or Carve on Thrall the Bruiser. And you're going to have Lucio picked up. Taking him away from the Pancakes here in game number 2. That could be Harkin. French fries and the Pancakes. I am hungry, and both French fries and pound cakes. What am I doing? Both French fries and pancakes sound really good. Sticking with Akira ban. Is this going to be the ABBA ban? ABBA still up, still solid, and it is. I like that ban. I like that ban a lot. ABBA is one of those heroes that can be very difficult to deal with, and FF and the Pancakes clearly demonstrated an understanding and of how to play him and how to play him well last game. So easy solution to that: ban it out, and you don't got to worry about it. You know, if you're a ReGen Rebel and you feel like, you know, we felt like we could stand up to them in those fights, and I didn't see anything in those fights that would tell me that either side had a strong advantage in team fights. Let's even up the odds, make them play us straight up, and no Abathur. So Malthael Deckard. Taco has yet to pick his tank. Meow Meow Cats has yet to pick his solo laner. So Taco picked taking the Diablo despite the Malthael, and despite a damage slot being up, and despite a Tychus being available. Meow Meow Cats picking the Ragnaros. So ReGen Rebel kind of staying with this double bruiser thing they like.
From order comes justice.
Tassadar will round out the composition for FF and the Pancakes. Now, I will say, Falstad and Tassadar are both uber squishy. I mean, they're backliners, so they're by default squishy, but they're squishy even for backliners. So if Taco can get back there, or Thrall can get back there, they'll melt those heroes pretty quick. But let's see how it goes into game number 2 momentarily. Game number 2. The blue team, ReGen Rebel, Meow Meow Cats, will be playing Ragnaros. Velaravia, I think I got it right that time, on the Lucio. Taco on Diablo. Supercarve on Thrall, and Sylphrenia on the Li Ming. And the Red Trunks hoping to pull off the domination and pull into first place in the division. We have FF and the Pancakes If it is indeed French Fries and the Pancakes, definitely the tastiest team in the division. Mr. G on Tassadar, Stampy on Falstad, Courtney on Malthiel, XYXGY on the Deckard, and Mr. Sue on Joe. The friendship spray is coming out for ReGen Rebel, and lightning damage coming out for FF and the Pancakes. Oh, thank you, Murda. We'll correct. Oh, I'm going to stick with French fries then. I like French fries and the Pancakes a lot better. Thrall needs to back up. There is a full rotation, and I mean full rotation, coming out by the Pancakes. And Rebel going back top. Will they catch the Malthiel? They do get the charge. They do get the flip. The rest of the team is not quite able to lock him in. Unfortunately, Kako was unable to land that initial stun and was a hair ahead of his own team. Courtney, though, taking a lot of damage from that rag. Pancakes a little bit ahead on the siege camp rotation. So the mid camp picked up first by the Pancakes. Taco taking just a ton of free damage. ReGen Rebel, their camp burn is not great. So it did take them a minute to get that, and they're a little bit behind in XP. The kind of rotating around the map definitely cost them a little bit. Lucio getting some damage. Thrall and Johanna, the classic matchup, battling away in the bottom lane. So the Pancakes here will have a little bit of advantage in the mid lane. Their camp will be up first by virtue of them having picked up their camp first. Let's see how our teams are going to play this. Taco being on the aggressive side. Johanna, not really a target, but he is low. There's the stun. Now, I assume Iron Skin is up. The boop has kept him away. Are they going to be able to finish him? No, he didn't have Iron Skin. Joe did not have the Iron Skin available, so nice rotation. First blood again. 2 games in a row now going over to ReGen Rebel. Taco is tanking the jailers. Now, Tassadar, he can interrupt this for basically for infinity. And that's exactly how. So Vel can't stand in there and tank that damage. It'll absolutely chunk the Lucio out. I mean, so that's not really going to work. You're going to have to force them off if you're ReGen Rebel. You're going to have to get some kills. I mean, the Joe flashlight, the Tassadar standing there in that little cone, all of the Deckard stuff, which is very long range, but there is some big initiation onto Stampy on the Falstad, able to barrel roll to safety. The counter damage coming out. Tassadar, very aggressive flank, forced to use that wall defensively. Lucio picking up the speed boost. ReGen Rebel rotating away to safety, getting some double globes in the bottom to help with that sustain. Kind of split out here. So 7 advantage, though, over to ReGen Rebel for about 15 seconds, not even. I didn't even finish the sentence. So Rebel is actually on their camp. FF and the Pancakes may have sniffed that out. Taco is there to buy a little bit of time, act like he's got some backup. The little jail guards have been defeated by FF and the Pancakes. The mid lane camp, though, is secured, so nice little maneuver there. Carve, though, getting beat up a little, forced to back up. So there will be some mid lane pressure in favor of ReGen Rebel. Neither side has any of the jail guards up yet. So if somebody can just kind of sneak over here if FF doesn't pay attention. Both teams doing their best to soak and posture and kind of waiting for their other opponent to make a mistake. That's kind of what they need right now. Somebody needs to get a kill or sneak in on the point to get the objective. But so far, nothing doing. Carve needs to be careful. Mr. G looking for that wall, I guarantee it. But here comes the Diablo. Does land the Shadow Charge onto Courtney, but unable to get the flip. And now big time CC by Decker Kane. Thrall goes down. Taco maybe should have gone down, but does limp away to safety. The big-time AOE crowd control by Decker Kane, locking in Thrall and Diablo, and securing the first kill of the game for the Pancakes. They do not try to capitalize on it, though. Instead, they get some soak, and now they're rotating both sides, actually, onto the camps and maybe racing to 10. So this first objective is going to be a long ways away. Taco doesn't know it. He could actually just run right over here and channel. Of course, that would be super dangerous. Would also be hilarious, though, if you hit them so. So 10's maybe going to be in FF and the Pancakes' favor first. Or both of these teams at very close to the same time. Thrall needs to run again. And now just catch the XP at the wall. So we have level 10s. It is Lornado, Black Hole, Gust, Blessed Shield, and Last Rites. That level 10 allowing them the initial channel onto the objective. ReGen Rebel waiting for 10s, and they are here. We have a Lava Wave, Wave of Force, Sound Barrier, APOC, and Earthquake, I believe is what that is, and it is. They do stop the channel initially, then it is interrupted, and they stop it again, and it's interrupted. Blessed Shield goes out, Lornado go out. Li Ming did get the full interrupt. Carr very low. He's just asking for a Last Rites. Earthquake and APOC disrupted by the Gust. What was not disrupted was Johanna getting caught out and just body blocked into oblivion. Down goes Joe. ReGen Rebel now trying to get the channel. Carve out ahead. Last Rites will not get much done there. Joe is up in 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's going to be a close thing for FF and the Pancakes to try to interrupt this. It's going to be very difficult. Joe is still a good 10 seconds away, and I think Rebel can just stall this. There goes Lornado trying to bully them back, as does the Deckard stuff. There goes the interrupt, 1.7 seconds. All they need to do is buy a little more time. There it goes. Taco may pay for it with his life, though, but he does get the stun onto Joe, who pops Iron Skin, a wall, a Tastar wall, right in the middle of all of that. Diablo does go down. Li Ming running for her life, and she escapes with 19 hit points before dying, as did Lucio. So I was right. ReGen Rebel could stall for the objective, but they absolutely paid for it with a triple kill. Mr. G landed a huge wall right in the middle of that fight, and it really put the kibosh on the disengage that ReGen Ghost, that's my team. ReGen Rebel was trying to back out there. Now they're doing the best that they can to get some value out of this objective that they fought so hard and paid so dearly to secure. But unfortunately, the value is going to be minimal. It's going to be a wall in the mid lane, a wall in the top lane, and not even a full wall all the way in the top mid lane. So Carve still hanging out bottom. So far has been pretty careful. Can't get caught in a big wall. Taco fishing around somewhere. Frag and Lucio are on the bruisers. The Pancakes have not made the response call to their own bruisers quite yet. Now there they go. So the Thrall, the classic Thrall Diablo split push, getting some damage on this bottom lane here, but there's a full rotation Falstad does sort of kept them. There is the Blessed Shield holding him in place for the Gust. Taco gets the APOC. It does catch Falstad. Li Ming might have enough damage, and she does have enough damage to get the Falstad, so a 1-for-1 so far. If ReGen Rebel gets out of this with a 1-for-1, it will be absolutely money. And the flip with the sound barrier, Taco and Vel making the plays. The sound barrier and then the flip under towers. A full rotation onto the Thrall Diablo, and they turn it into a 2-for-1. They also turned it into a 2-for-1 with Ragnaros never even showing up. So real nice play there from ReGen Rebel. I frankly thought that Taco and Carve were absolutely in trouble. But a nice APOC to buy themselves some time. Held Falstad down, and then Sylphrenia just came down, and pop goes the Falstad. The Pancakes, meanwhile, they must have smelled the boss in the bottom lane because they are responding in kind. Thrall getting the side soak. Now, ReGen Rebel, if they want, they can get up here and get on objective, possibly. Maybe. Taco went to fill up, I guess. Now, bottom boss for Rebel is going to get this board. That's going to happen. And Rebel is already here to defend this, maybe? Carve and Taco are. That's not really a boss defense squad, though. Ragnaros is securing mid-camp. And FF and the Pancakes say, we don't care about no boss. They're going to secure this objective. And I think that's the right call. This boss won't get much on a fully defended keep. And ReGen Rebel doesn't quite have 16 advantage yet. They're still trying to save this top fort. And they do, but now they are very close to the limit of how much time they need to interrupt this. They do pop Molten Core, though. That's a great move. It might be enough to bully FF and the Pancakes off. They do get the APOC onto Joe, and there's the Gust to buy time. 10 seconds before objective. Lornado, a fantastic Lornado. They're holding ReGen Rebel in place. They cannot interrupt. This time, will it be FF and the Pancakes that pays for it, though? They do secure the objective and limp away to safety. Mr. G with the black hole, and XY, XGY with the Lornado. There's a great charge flip onto Joe. The Li Ming damage was there, but it wasn't quite enough. All of the AoE stuff that the Pancakes threw out just bullied Rebel away from that channel. I saw Carve trying so hard to get down there and just ran into a bunch of Decker stuff. Despite that, small level lead advantage for ReGen Rebel. This mid cavalry probably not going to get too much here. Rag is in the top lane. Lornado sort of splitting out Taco, but he does get the flip, the charge. That is under tower, and Malthiel Courtney in trouble again. That is the second time this game Taco has done that. And now it is Deckard who's in a lot of trouble. Vel giving the speed boost. Great long-range route by Carve. And that is 2-for-0 once again. Ragnaros doing his off-laner thing. Falstad doing the same thing in the bottom lane. Rebel needs to get down here, and they need to get down here quick. Stampy smells the rotation coming very intelligently. Gets away. I don't think Thrall has quite the wave clearer to save this. And he doesn't. There goes Joe. Forced to pop Ironskin. Mid fort falling low. Both sides' top forts are very, very low. And the mid fort for Pancakes is very low. And the mid fort, unlike most maps, is actually highly important on Alterac Pass. And that's an unusual feature of the map. Usually it's the bottom or top lane that's most important. But you can make the argument here on Alterac with the ability to safely poke out objective and the very strong Merc camps that actually the mid camps are more important. But this is another game. Check this out, Twitch chat. For the second game in a row, Taco not getting caught. For the second game in a row, structures dead even, kills close to dead even. ReGen Rebel slightly up in XP. Both of these teams know they can't save their fort. So I assume they're just going to rip this, right? Now the Katas will favor ReGen Rebel with the Ragnaros, though. The Lava Wave is a big deal. They will slowly, they being the minions with the assistance of Lava Wave, will slowly get that top fort if it's not intended to. So rotating away Maybe trying to get Tassadar coming down, but they don't. Ragnaros hanging out in the bottom lane. And great, I love this. Love this play by Rebel. Taking the free fort. Rotate away to safety. And once again, for the second game in a row, we have an absolute anybody can win this coin flip game. These games have both been fantastic. Really, really fun. Both teams are here. Deckard throwing out his Gatorades, making sure they're ready for his team. Everybody has their R buttons, at least the relevant ones. Lava Wave doesn't really matter so much here.
Time for some action.
Now Falstad's showing in the top, so that will allow Rebel to get in here and channel this straight away. And Sylph was so fast on the channel that Mr. G on the Tassadar didn't even have time to interrupt it. Taco trying to buy some space. A very early Iron Skin, though, so Joe needs to be super careful with Iron Skin already down. Falstad maybe looking for an aggro gust here. Taco taking a lot of damage, Taco. Something needs to happen if you're Rebel. There goes the APOC. It does not catch anybody. Black Hole splitting out the members of Retro. Last Rites is going to finish off Diablo, and once again, another huge Tassadar wall. But it is Vel with the speed that might save the day. Only Taco going down, but with Souls was a huge win. I don't want to criticize my boy Taco, but he took so much free damage there in the start of that fight, and that's the exact same spot in the last fight over that point that the wall hit. That's the second time that Mr. G has hit a huge wall that really broke up the fight. Oh, the mouthfeel is caught out a bit. There's the charge, there's the flip, there's the rag stuff. Courtney eating a lot of damage. Li Ming really chunking out that mouthfeel. Falstad, they're trying to fight through the mud. Is ReGen Rebel. 30 seconds left on this channel. All ReGen Rebel needs to do is reset this and get 20. They'll be in a great spot. And there goes Taco going in. He does get on the Tassadar. Flip. QEQ lands on the Tassadar. And they are unable to save him. And they get the counter kill on Taco. No, Tassadar goes down. I don't know how that happened. Oh my goodness. Sylph just popping off on the back. The power of Li Ming. One reset turns to 3. And they might get carved with the, or I should say Stampy with the Chain Lightning, and then they do. The biggest moment of the series thus far for ReGen Rebel. Taco, I thought, was for sure dead. He barely escaped with some help from his friends, and then Sylph on the Li Ming pops off with the triple kill, and it ends up a 4-4-1.
As if the horde could ever
Whew.
us. Mount up.
And I feel super bad because I didn't even catch it live. I was so convinced Rebel was going to go down there, and then there's a triple kill, and what happened? Li Ming happened.
For the stone pikes.
So here comes the cavalry, level 20 advantage for about 10 seconds once again for ReGen Rebel. However, they do have all of these cavalry pulling in the lanes. Li Ming has a long way to go before she joins her team, so Pancakes, for a moment anyway, will have numbers advantage, at least till Li Ming gets here. Worth noting, more NATOs at 20 for Deckard. If you haven't seen the talent, it's pretty bananas. I love ReGen Rebel's patience here. Waiting for Li Ming to get here. Waiting for the Pancakes to show somewhere else, and now we're going to have a brouhaha. Both sides are here. Rebel went ahead and they backed up. Li Ming damage goes in. Doesn't really land on anybody. Oh, Blessed Shield misses. APOC misses. Wall misses. Orb does not. So some buttons pressed there, but no real value done. Core is taking a little bit of damage here, but as long as it doesn't die, it will regen back up. Rebel taking a little poke damage. I think they might be trying to bait them into a Molten Core here. No, just going to go ahead and bounce. So structure advantage to ReGen Rebel. However, at this point in the game, well, you know what? What I was going to say is all you need is a post-20 win, and then you burn through keep and end. But that is hard to do on Alterac due to the armor. The armor on the core from the keeps being up makes it much harder to just win a fight at 20 and then go end. Both sides are agreeing to trade boss. I'm a little surprised FF and the Pancakes is willing to do this because this does favor ReGen Rebel. I believe they will get theirs first. With the keep already low, they absolutely have to defend. And ReGen Rebel, it looked like they were hearthing to meet it, but I think ReGen Rebel is going to be able to catch this boss further away, further negating the damage. In the end, I think it'll actually be probably much ado about nothing. You definitely don't want to let this boss just march all the way to this keep, though. You want to catch it out here and do as much damage to it as possible. See, what Rebel is doing out here, catch the boss out in lane, don't let it get to the structures at full health. Look at how much damage they did to it. About, what, half health before it even got to the wall. They let this boss get, I think, too close into the keep, and it might get it. It's going to be close, very, very close, and they get it. And 100% that was the difference. If the Assassins and the rest of the team from FF and the Pancakes would have caught this boss out here, they would not have lost that fort, or that keep. And that could play huge in how this game is going to wind down. They now have double Lava Wave and double catapults that FF and the Pancakes has to babysit. And any major team fight win, ReGen Rebel can go core. The Pancakes do not have that option. So both sides being a little cagey. Taco waiting for a big APOC flank. He wants to get onto one of those squishy backliners. Blessed Shield onto Thrall, though. That's going to force Taco out. He does land onto the Deckard. The Gust resets everything, though. And then Taco goes right back in on the Deckard and says, you are not getting away quite yet. Earthquake is big. Deckard is way isolated out, as is the members of ReGen Rebel. So many buttons being pressed, but nobody has gone down yet. I lied. Deckard finally went down, as did Falstad. Li Ming going crazy again. This could be it. Down goes Mountfield. Down goes Tassadar. Joe, it's only a matter of time. Down she goes, an ace. And a Game 2 win for ReGen Rebel. You know what? I questioned the first pick, Li Ming. I was wrong. It was absolutely a thing here. I would not be surprised to see a Li Ming ban. A big win for currently 7th place ReGen Rebel against number 2 FF and the Pancakes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a game number 3 on what have been 2 really entertaining, back and forth, excellent games. And I don't expect anything to change in game number 3. A really fun set so far. Frankly, I think the most entertaining competitive set I've casted so far this season. It's been just an absolute great set. But look at the Sylph on Li Ming, absolutely popping off. I was wondering about Diablo and Amalthiel. Taco did not seem to mind at all. And we are going to game number 3. I'm going to put up the BRB screen. I'm going to go catch my breath and grab a glass of water. And we will be back for game number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back after a little bit of a longer pause as our teams caught their breath after two very back and forth, fairly intense games. And for game number 3, we're going to be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Off the game 2 loss, FF and the Pancakes opted for first pick. Possibly worth noting, whichever team has had first pick in game 1 and game 2 has gone on to win the game. So FF and the Pancakes opting to stick with that, the little extra draft control. And see if they can pick up the extra points here. So Tomb of the Spider Queen can definitely be brawly. The objective can be a little underwhelming at times. The smallest 3-lane map in the game. Vision control, uber important. Lots of different chokes and vents and places to hide and ambush on it. And of course, one of the classic throw pits and HOTS at top boss. So many videos out there of teams throwing on boss. And the way these first 2 games have gone, I would not surprise me to have game 3 be decided over a boss fight at the end of the game. That's just kind of how it's been so far. All right, so we do have 10 players in the lobby. We have draft settings correct. We have 2 captains selected. And I believe we should be hitting that start button here fairly soon. We have a ready from the Pancakes. We have, hopefully very soon, a ready from ReGen Rebel. Any moment now. Here we go. Taco hit the R button. We are now counting it down. Game number 3. Winner getting the extra point and the best of 3 series win. So let's see what adjustments the teams make to how these games have gone so far. Games 3, it's always interesting. Interesting to see if teams come off of their initial bans that they came into the games with after scouting. Like we've had Sonya and Gazlo banned out by both of these sides throughout this whole set. May has been either banned or denied from FF and the Pancakes. Now, this time they're going to deny to Diablo. I assume that means they're going to first pick the May, and if I'm ReGen Rebel, I am strongly considering banning out the May. Game 1, the Ice Walls from, I believe, Mr. Sue were excellent, but they're staying with the Zeratul ban. They do not want to deal with the Zeratul, and first pick May, as expected, for ReGen Rebel. So 2 picks now coming out for Rebel. And once again, going back to what worked so well in game number 2. Getting that early pick, Li Ming, grabbing that Lucio. Now that is a hero I have not seen in a long time. That is going to be Phoenix and Anduin. With the Phoenix, I wonder, is this a Wombo-y thing? Is this Ice Wall, Blizzard, Planet Cracker? Question mark? Is it like a preemptive counter to an offlane Malthael, perhaps? Malthael does struggle into ranged heroes, and Phoenix can kind of go down there and do that. Maiev being banned out by ReGen Rebel. Maiev is very good on Tomb. Can kind of come out of the various flanking positions where there's not a lot of vision over the walls and in the vents. And then Falstad, who's been a big part in the series so far, going to be banned out by FF and the Pancakes. Now 2 picks over to ReGen Rebel. Running out of time. Who are they going to go with? Back on the Thrall, and there's the Kira. So there is the reason why the Pancakes have been banning the Kira. Meow Meow Cat's going to get on the Kira for the first time this set, the first time she's been allowed to get on the Kira. And we're going to see in Game 3 why it was banned. ReGen Rebel sticking with their double bruiser style. And the Pancakes, they're going to respond with an Orphea Azul combination. So I assume this is a Joe. That's kind of the first hero that jumps out to me. Rebel's a little light on wave clear. Yeah, and Joe's going to help with that. She's really strong on Tomb. So I assume this is going to be Meow Meow Cats running down to the bottom lane for the solo, Carve staying in the 4-man Thrall. Definitely has some different heroes and comps coming out. We're going to see how it plays out here in game number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 in what has been an absolutely fantastic series from both teams, really putting on a show. ReGen Rebel hoping for the upset victory here. They've gotten at least 1 point tonight, hoping for a second. Gonna have Taco on Johanna, Super Carve on Thrall, Sofrenia back on the Li Ming. That was oh so good in game 2. Meow Meow Cats on the until now banned Kira. And Vel on Lucio once more. FF and the Pancakes in the red trunks. Mr. Sue on the Mei that was oh so impactful in game number 1. Courtney making an appearance on the Orphea Stampy. We'll be playing the Zool XGY on Anduin. And Mr. G on Phoenix. So some new heroes that haven't been a factor thus far this series here in Game 3. Orphea making an appearance, Zool making an appearance, Phoenix making an appearance. And it was kind of as expected. I postulated that mayhaps it was Phoenix that would actually be going into the off lane to maybe as a soft counter to the Malthael, but with the Kira still up, the Malthael was not a factor. We'll try to pop in here. There's a lot of action going on. And the rotational advantage is going to be in favor of the Pancakes. With the Zool up here, there is just no way that ReGen Rebel is going to keep up 100%. The main thing for them is they don't want to miss soak. But just look how far. They're burning the wave so quickly with the Orphea and the Zool that they actually had to wait for the wave to arrive. May, a little bit caught out, forced to pop her thing. Now they've booped her away. Now she might be in trouble with the Leap of Faith coming out. Carve actually eating the root from the Zool, and Chomp Chomp Courtney picking up the first blood on the Orphea. So it looks like Mr. G and Meow Meow Cats playing it about even here in the bottom lane. No strong advantage either way. So Thrall will be here to catch it. And this is the rotational advantage I was talking about with Pancakes. Is Rebel hadn't even finished top, and this is already crashing. And that gives them the opportunity to rotate the bottom lane just because they're clearing these waves with this Zool Orphea so quickly. Now they'll rotate onto the bottom camp, and they can do these things just because they're so far ahead. However, May is showing in the top, and all members of ReGen Rebel are here. This is going to be an invade, and an invade with no May. Joe does get onto the point just in time. Everybody here, a 5v4, no kills confirmed quite yet, and there's the kill. Now the Leeming is going to get the resets. Taco is so low, he wants to hold the point, but he can't, and it's actually Orphea that pops off with a quad kill. That is a 5v4. 4 for nothing. I'm sorry, I should say 4 for 1 victory in favor of FF and the Pancakes. Both teams really hung in there. And well played by Sylph on Li Ming to grab as many gems as possible. But Courtney on that Orphea, Rebel was just standing on the point, doing their best to hold it, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but those mercenary channel points are pretty much the same size as all of Orphea's stuff. So she just kept throwing stuff in there, and eventually it did some work. And this is a big early advantage for the Pancakes. And it really feels like between the just having less wave clear, one, but also two, the Zool thing, Rebel is just kind of behind and they're playing catch up. That's what it feels like on these rotations. And the superior wave clear has allowed FF and the Pancakes to just do whatever they want. They rotate quickly, they grab their soak, they get on the camps. Rebel did drop off a lot of gems though. Carve gonna get in 6 more. This mid is going to crash here though, and unless somebody steps up here to stop him, this is going to be very likely. First turn in of this game going to go over to FF and the Pancakes, and there it is. Watch this wave clear advantage. I really think it's going to be a massive factor in dictating the flow of this game, and it has been so far. FF and the Pancakes has shown, and I think rightly so, no inclination to fight other than over the bottom Merc camp earlier, but they're literally just moving around the map and just obliterating lanes and buildings now. And the way this early game is going, they are playing it 100% on point. They are about a level plus up already. Kira is going to be bullied back. Meow Meow Cats is in trouble. Is able to hit the stun and buy a little bit of time, but there is the root. There is another root. Lucio doing everything that she can to get Kira out, but it will not be enough. And of all of the games thus far this evening, this is frankly the first one that has been strongly in favor of either team in the early going, and it has been all Pancakes thus far. First fort of the game going to fall. Level 10s will be here for FF and the Pancakes momentarily. And they have arrived. It is going to be Poison Nova, Crushing Jaws, Light Bomb, Planet Cracker and Ice Wall. So I really want to see Pancakes wombo combo there potentially trotting out, as the blue turn-in has arrived, but they don't have 10, so they have to be super duper passive. That is going to be Ice Wall with the Blizzard, and then probably Light Bomb and Planet Cracker on top. You lock enough people in there, but that is all on Mr. Sue's Ice Walls, and so far has been up to the task. But if Ice Wall doesn't make contact, you're not going to get anything going. Rebel in the neighborhood, but they do not have their heroics yet, and they are rightly backing up.
It is over for now.
There we go. Heroics now here for both of our teams. FF and the Pancakes does have a turn-in. Rebel will very soon. Blessed Shield, Sound Barrier, Earthquake. I don't know Kira's logos or thingies. Final Strike, and Wave of Force. Damage going into the Mei, and they get her! They get her before she can use the trait. That is huge, but there's Light Bomb, and there's Planet Cracker, and there's all the stuff. That they did not even need a Mei to do it. Thrall and Lucio went down so fast. Joe shortly thereafter. They burned down Mei so fast she couldn't even proc her trait. But this very melee-heavy Bruiser comp, a Root, a Light Bomb. Oh, it is Eternal Feast, not Crushing Jaws. My mistake. But that held them in the Eternal Feast long enough for 2 members to go down, and then shortly a third. I really think FF and the Pancakes there, as this game is playing out, it is demonstrating that they drafted themselves an advantage. And it's showing thus far. So Thrall can't really be here. I think Carve just needs to back up. Because if Sue goes in and E and gets a slow on him, he could be in a world of hurt. But these Web Weavers pushing in, and they are pushing in hard. They're already crashing mid, they're already crashing bottom, and now they are crashing top. The lack of wave clear on the side of ReGen Rebel has been a factor this entire game, and it continues to be a factor now. They just cannot clear out these Web Weavers very quickly, and there's so much free siege damage coming out by FF and the Pancakes. And they're just doing, Pancakes are such a great job of really picking and choosing when they fight. And when they're not fighting, they are just constantly maneuvering around the map, and now they're making a very fast boss play. With all of these lanes pushed so far out, they will know if ReGen Rebel comes. And Rebel has too much housekeeping, I think, to sniff this out. They're going to have a little bit of counter press mid. No, Rebel has not been able to try to get a single mercenary camp thus far. This is a 5v3. This would be super dice, but ReGen Rebel wants it. There's the Blessed Shield, but Eternal Feast with Planet Cracker right on top, and Rebel just nopes out. But I think they are going to be in trouble. Earthquake trying to buy space. Taco very likely to go down, as is Thrall. That was dicey. If you're making the call there for ReGen Rebel, I don't think you can go in 3v5 without a 13. And they paid for it. They absolutely paid for it. And this, depending on how this goes, ladies and jelly spoons, this could be a quick Game 3 victory for FF and the Pancakes. They do have a Kata. They have about a boss at 60% health, but they're not going to push it. They're going to take their keep, and they're just going to continue their absolute stranglehold on this map. They have been able to do whatever they want this entire game. Absolutely bullying Rebel with far superior wave clear. And then a couple of really well-executed team fights. So ReGen Rebel in a rough spot. They are not going to have another same tier talent fight until 16-19 if this game carries on like this. So if you're them, I guess you're gonna soak as much as you can. These waves, the advantage to them being pushed in, it is easy to collect that experience. But FF and the Pancakes, they're gonna have turn-in here very soon. And then you have to decide if you're gonna eat the turn-in or you're gonna fight down a talent tier. And that's a tough decision to make either way. They are trying to force a turn-in bottom though. Will the Pancakes get down here in time? They are coming. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be close. But the Pancakes actually don't come down to contest. I'm a little surprised. This is a really awkward positioning here for both teams. 13 to 16. I do not want this right now. And I think Rebel decided the same as well. The turn-in is going to not be much more than damage control. You can see how far these lanes are pushed out. All they're going to do is really kind of slow down this advantage. I think if you're ReGen Rebel, the call is get 16, and then we run at them. We run at them 16 to 19. I don't think you do that now, but they're looking. Blessed Shield. They do catch the Anduin, though. There's the damage. There's the Earthquake. Planet Cracker on top. They're still on the Anduin, unable to bring him down. Eternal Feast is Shrekking on the backside, but a great Light Bomb, but a huge ulti by Kira. Gets that first kill. 14 to 16, getting that kill is huge, but an Ice Wall breaks it up again. A Blizzard on top. Blizzard doesn't finalize on anybody, but that is 2 more down. The Leeming reset, unable to secure a second kill. It was very close, though. That was very close to being a huge, huge win for ReGen Rebel. I still think it was a win. Frankly, while that fight was going on, these waves were pushing, so it undid a lot of the lane pressure they were facing. And maybe also netted them a fort and brings them a little bit closer to having same talent tier. So when they hit 16, FF and the Pancakes will be at 18, and there's your chance. There's your chance to make a play. I don't think you contest this if you're ReGen. I think it's a mistake to contest this. At the same time, though, their wave clear is so bad. There is the Ice Wall on the back. However, Zool eating a ton of damage. Leap of Faith gets him out. Down goes Eternal Feast. This fight being broken up both ways. Taco very low. He is able to run to safety. Carve now very low, and down he goes. That is going to be turn-in for FF and the Pancakes if they want it, and they do. That was just no good decision there for ReGen Rebel. Either they contest down talent tiers or they concede the objective on a wave clear that has shown, or with a composition that has shown to be just lacking in wave clear. But they're not done yet. They're going to get one more crack at this, but they're going to need to win multiple team fights consecutively to actually pull this game out. It would be a comeback for the ages if they were to pull it off. There goes Blessed Shield. It does catch Sewell. Light Bomb onto one. Phoenix able to teleport away. Ice Wall again. There's the Planet Cracker. Kind of splitting up ReGen Rebel, but not killing anybody. Taco being split out, though, does fall. And I think the inevitable is finally going to happen. Waves pushing in top. Waves pushing in mid. Kira in trouble. They do get a counter kill. Thrall picking off that Orphea. But I just look at the waves on core. This is so many minions on core, and they are also triple keeped. Core is rapidly falling. I guess the Pancakes are going to run to a boss, perhaps? I think they could have ended. If they just would have stayed, I'm willing to bet they end. I think they underestimated just how much damage those waves were going to do to core. Now, ReGen Rebel, they have to know that this is where they're at. They do. Here they come. No Orphea here. This is a great place for Rebel. They want to catch them here. They absolutely want to catch them here. Ice Wall catches two, breaks up the fight, but Stampy is split out by the Ice Wall. Leap of Faith gets him. And now ReGen Rebel, they need to make a decision on what they're going to do. And I think I don't know. I honestly don't know. They have to back up because they have Katas pushing everywhere, and that's simply going to allow the Pancakes to step up and try for boss again. So I guess we're going to repeat the same song and dance we did a minute ago. I think it's checkmate. I don't think Rebel has enough time to get back up here. And this boss marching uncontested at core. ReGen Rebel smartly stepping up, trying to do what damage they can to the boss away from the core. I don't think it's going to be enough. The Blessed Shield does go out. The Root timed out with Iron Skin. There goes the Earthquake. I don't think there's a scenario where they defend this. Boss is going down very, very quickly. But there goes the Planet Cracker. There goes Poison Nova. There goes the core shields. Defense is going strong. Joe's the first to fall. Core is the second to fall. What an incredible series. FF and the Pancakes flexing a little bit in that game 3. And all 3 games, it was first pick won the game. Every single game. So draft control, so important in this set. Games 1 and 2 were incredible and really close, but Game 3 was all Pancakes. The wave clear differential between the two teams was noticeable kind of from the outset, and I think was the big difference. It was the factor that determined the game. All right, let's see if we can see if we get a quick interview in here. I got kids harassing me for bedtime, but we'll chat with some Pancakes here soon. Let's see.
What up, Mongoose?
Oh, you found me even before I got the ping out. You're a pro.
Buddy, I'm here to help.
It's not your first time.
We've had some success this season.
Yeah, I've noticed. I know you guys have been around for a few seasons, and I don't think it would be a stretch to say that this season has been far more successful than past ones.
Yeah, for us, yes.
So let's talk about that before we talk about the series, which was the set was incredible. That was an absolutely fantastic series to catch.
I am looking forward to watching it because it kind of sounded like it would be fun.
Talk about you guys, the Pancakes, season 11. You guys right in the mix for the #1 seed in first place. Got a couple of teams you're dealing with it there, but right at the top. So talk about the season and how you guys are doing, and why do you think that is?
I mean, I think we've done better, broader things this season. You'll notice our Wombos getting banned out pretty regularly now, as that's kind of historically what we're known for. And I think we've sort of broadened what we're capable of doing and can play a more traditional style game. And I think that's helped. I think just as players, we've gotten a little bit better too, just as that comes along. And I mean, honestly, the competition seems harder. So all the credit in the world to our opponents. But I think we've just sort of matured a little bit, and we're more prepared this season and, going into games. How's that?
Excellent. So game 1, you guys break out the kind of oldie goodie Abathur Illidan combo.
Yeah, the classic, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be honest, I thought you guys would roll over them a little harder than that game went. That was actually kind of back and forth. They really hung in with you. What were the comms like in this game, and was there a turning point that you felt like where that turned around, especially late game? You guys had a couple of fights where you actually lost that first kill, but kind of didn't matter. You flipped it over.
So one of the lessons you can take from that is having 2 Janas is awesome.
Yes, I
right.
Noticed
and
that.
that ended up being defining for those fights where I either cloned late or for whatever reason we engaged poorly. But I mean, in general, I think one of the things that ReGen Rebel does pretty well is that most teams, particularly in Division E, want to just brawl all day long, and they'll take fights for everything, and they tend to back up and make good decisions and not just dive headfirst into stupid stuff, which really makes it harder to beat them, And so like that really contributed to, I think, that first game where there was more back and forth, where we're kind of looking to snipe people as we can. They're not making that super easy us on the first place, so now all of a sudden we have to take full size team fights, which the comp kind of plays to for about 10 seconds while you've got that Abby clone. But most of it, you're actually just kind of looking to keep the lanes pushed out and win the old fashioned way. So, them just being really smart and good and cautious and not jumping into fights that they didn't need was like, it made it harder.
Yeah, there was actually a point I highlighted in that game around the bottom boss where I forget one. I think they started it, and you guys showed up and they left, and you kind of restarted it, and they came back, and you guys stopped it, and you guys were just kind of like dancing around the boss, but neither one would really start it as long as the other one was there. It was a little bit of a game of chicken, and so many teams just want to. You said it perfectly. They just want to brawl over stuff, and the discipline both of you guys showed to just not do that. Shows to the experience that and how to play the game the right way. So let's go to game 2.
Yep.
They wisely took Abathur away from you guys.
Yep.
I was very leery of the first pick, Li Ming, but it turns out that I was wrong.
Yeah.
So talk about game, just kind of generally speaking, game 2, kind of how it went and what you guys were thinking going into game 3.
So game 2, I think all the games, there was a lot of just good work done in the draft. And I think that ended up kind of just defining everything throughout the game. But that, Li Ming did awesome stuff and took great advantage of resets. But the thing that set it up just over and over and over again that we just kept falling into was those Diablo flips and stuns. And, we were just solidly good at walking into those. And I'm not saying that makes Li Ming's job easy, but it makes it easier,
sure.
Right? And that just kept happening over and over and over against us. So it's like, I mean, what the comms look like is me getting kind of moody about it, I guess. I mean, it wasn't great, and it was, they just played their comp very well. And again, same thing. They weren't looking to take fights they didn't need. They weren't looking to press when they didn't need to press. They were just cautiously looking for those fights where they could get that quick gank, and then it's a 5v4 and we're going to die. Unlike the first game where we didn't have like 2 Janas in game 2 that can just kind of deal with that better. It became nightmarish. So again, they just drafted a better comp, or were able to play their comp that they drafted better than we were. And Bob's your uncle. So that game was demoralizing and heartbreaking a little bit. And it's because they played really well.
Yeah, in particular, Falstad and Tacit are both excellent, but also both paper thin. And Diablo can go deep if he needs to, and if he got a hold of one of those two in particular, the resets were, were definitely achievable with kind of
I think
thinner
she got
heroes
one
like that.
4 kill, or was it just a 3? There was one where just watching that cascade, like the second she gets that first kill, you just pick out on the screen the next 2 or 3 people she's about to execute.
Yep. Like tic-tac-toe.
It's just heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So anyway, they played really well. They brought in their mage ringer. They used her well in conjunction with Diablo, so much so that by game 3 we decided we didn't want to play against Diablo anymore.
Yeah, I noticed you guys were prioritizing not letting Taco get on the Mei, and then also doubling up on that, not letting you get on Mei or Diablo in game 2. I'm surprised they gave you guys the Mei after game 1 and game 3. Were you thinking that the Mei ban might come out from them?
I mean, so I feel really good about where Mr. Su is in terms of his tank options. If they ban Mei there, and I don't think they do, because I think they really, really, really want Mei, he goes to Joe, and he's a really good Joe. And like that ends up kind of servicing the same sort of role for us. I think he'd rather play Mei because Mei's more fun, but at the end of the day, that doesn't go badly for us if we leave that open and potentially just get the deny by taking it or forcing them to burn a ban, at which point they've left Gazlo or Zeratul open. that's a good situation. Like that doesn't end badly for us on that first pick, given their prioritization of May.
So game 3, the only game that really wasn't close. I was concerned about the lack of wave clear at coming out of draft for Rebel.
Yeah.
That definitely played out. Was that an intentional target in draft, or was it kind of a happy adjustment as it went down? And how quickly did you
It was
guys
a happy
realize just
realization they
how
were about.
pronounced that was? I mean, it was a massive wave clear discrepancy.
By the time they were on their final pick, we were observing that their wave clear was not awesome, and that was great. And we were able to take advantage of that, especially kind of later game. When we were just cycling through things very quickly, and that was really nice. So, I mean, I think particularly in Division E, people got to play to their favorites and their comfort picks.
Sure.
And that's just got to be the way that's done. But yeah, their lack of wave clear there was probably pretty instrumental in us getting the victory the way we did.
Yeah, and it wasn't just their lack of wave clear either. It was the fact that you guys had above average wave clear in combination with their lack of wave clear, right? If they had low wave clear, but you guys also had low wave clear, it's kind of like, well, we're not so worried about it so much then. But you guys, yeah, you just danced around the map. You could do basically anything you wanted, and they were just always on their back heels. I know they had a couple moments where they almost made something happen. But I thought the big moment, you don't see many quad kills at like level 4 over a giant camp. How'd that go down there, or that early game quad kill?
I mean, I'm just panicking because right before that interaction, so you're getting everything from the healer's perspective here, right? So take that as you will. But I had to pull Mr. Sue a little earlier, so I didn't have my pull going into that fight, my leap of faith. So we go into this thing and they invade, and I just see him getting choked and broken, and I'm starting to panic. But along the way, Zool and Orphea are just loving it because it's this nice little tight engagement, and they're just getting stuff done. And I'm trying my hardest just to keep Stampy/Zool alive. And he goes down, and I look up, and they all have 1 hit point. So Courtney, our Orphea, just ate them, and it was awesome. I think my pull may have come back in time for me to save Stampy there, but because I went into the fight thinking it was down and was just kind of in panic mode, I didn't notice that. So that could have gone a little bit better than it did, but yeah, Courtney's a ridiculously good Orphea, and in a tight space like that, if 4 of them have 3 hit points each, I think any Orphea is going to be able to take advantage of that, and she certainly did. But it was kind of interesting because that's a lot of how those fights happen. And I remember at one point, about halfway through the game, there's no disrespect to their healer there, but about halfway through the game, my computer fell asleep, or I'm still with you.
No, you're here. You're
Hello?
still here.
Oh, I look up, and this is when we're getting our back camp, and Lucio has about 4K healing through the entire game so far because you can't heal people that are dead.
Yep.
So a lot of those fights were just these very quick, decisive, awesome things that fell out in that way, and we had our strong killy people on killy characters.
So if my math is correct, you guys should have 2 matches left. Let's see, who you got? Oh, a couple of big ones too. Is this correct that your last 2 matches left are against the 2 teams you guys are fighting with for first place? Oh no, you guys have played Raiders, the other Ice Crown. I'm confusing my Ice Crowns.
I'm going to take your word on it.
So first place is Ice Crown Citadel Raiders, which you guys have just passed with 2 points. So they'll be in second, you're being first. You still have to play the 9 Avatara, so that one could easily determine first place. How you guys feel?
I thought we played 9 Avatara
you?
weeks ago.
Did
yeah,
we?
I think we did.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? You are correct. So you have Sapphire and Ice Crown Citadel Queens. So I think mathematically you guys are pretty much in. So what's the focus on the last 2 weeks of the season, and how you feeling going to go into playoffs?
I mean, obviously, just like you started this interview with, man, it's a good season. We're feeling good about it. I think we're just going to continue to try and expand upon having a broader repertoire than just a big blow up, and see how that treats us. It's a 1 game at a time sort of thing, 1 match at a time. And so far, so good. So I don't have any grander plans than that. But we are feeling like we might see some playoff action. We feel like we might be in contention for a title, and that would be pretty sweet.
Well, the floor is yours. Any shout-outs on your way out?
Well, I certainly, ReGen Rebel, you guys played an awesome game. I don't think I've been more stressed out this season, so thank you for that. And my blood pressure thanks you too. NGS, we appreciate you guys hosting this league. It is so awesome that this game is still relevant, still getting work done. Certainly, Mongoose, thank you for casting and the interview. I'm really looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, it was a fun set. It was good. I'm happy you guys picked a time that I could do it because I basically have one cast a week, so it worked out well.
Yeah, man. I'm sincerely looking forward to watching that on Twitch a little bit later here.
Well, good luck the rest of the season, and we'll catch you in the playoffs, man.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it from me. We're going to send you over to our good friend Weenus, currently casting Division D West, Clouded Mines, and waiting on Cherry. They're in draft for Game 2. Stick around for that. At some point, I will be casting next week as well. And also should be a good set. Crushinator tomorrow will be casting My Game ReGen Ghost versus amateur opponent. Should be a good set. Be sure to hang out for that. Hope everybody has a fantastic evening, and good night.